Alright guys, today we are going to be learning a new type of verb formation. This type of verb is called the subjunctive, and in Spanish it is referred to as el subjuntivo. Subjunctive is actually not considered a verb tense, but rather a mood. A tense refers to when an event occurs, for example, the past, present, or future. And a mood, when referring to a verb, refers to how the speaker feels about that event. This might sound very abstract to you because we don't really have this in English. In Spanish, there are three moods: the indicative, the subjunctive, which we are learning today, and the imperative. At this point in time, if that is confusing to you or you're not totally sure what the difference is between indicative, subjunctive, and imperative, do not worry. We will talk about that another time. And you might be asking yourself, well, when or what situation would I need to use a mood like the subjunctive? We will also talk about that another time. Today, what we're focusing on is how to form a subjunctive verb. So let's start with that. As always in Spanish, there are regular verbs and irregular verbs, and first we're going to be talking about forming regular verbs in the subjunctive. So there are 3 steps to forming a regular subjunctive verb. The first step is to use the yo form of the present tense. So, for example, yo bailo, hago, pongo, camino. I dance, I do or make, I put or I walk. Then from the yo form, you're going to remove the o and replace it with the opposite ending. You might be wondering, what does opposite ending mean? Usually with our verbs in Spanish, the AR verbs tend to have endings that end in A's, such as a, as, amos, or on. And we've got the vosotros in there, which means like y'all, kind of, and that's ice. And then we have our ER and IR verbs, which usually end in E's and I's. So you have for this a, es, a, amos, en, and then again the vosotros, we have ice. In the subjunctive, we are going to do the opposite. So whenever your original verb is an AR verb, you're going to be using the ER endings, and then whenever it's an ER and IR verb, you're going to be using the AR endings. So let's practice this, but before we do that, I have one suggestion. Because the first step is to go to the yo form of the present tense, I would recommend that you review those yo forms, especially irregular yo forms. If you click on this link, you can take a moment to look at it. There is a table, there's a Quizlet list, and then there's even a song on my YouTube channel that could help you remember all of the forms if you listen to it a few times. So take a look at those if you can. Let's go through a few examples. We're just, again, practicing the formation of the subjunctive. And our first prompt is they sing. So the subject is ellos, and the verb to sing is cantar. So we can take cantar and go to the yo form, which is canto. And then if we take off the O, we are left with C-A-N-T. And we need the ellos form. So we've gone to yo, taken off the O. The opposite ending for an AR verb in the ellos form is going to be en. and we get canten. All right, let's do the next one. I dance. Our verb for dance is bailar. So the yo form is bailo. Take off the O and we're left with B-A-I-L. Bailar is another AR verb and we need the yo form this time. So looking at the opposite endings for AR, it would be E and we get baile. Okay, to form and you find. So the verb for find is encontrar. The yo form is yo encuentro. Then if we drop the O, we get that. And another AR verb, but this time it's the to form. So looking at our opposite chart, it's going to be ES on the end, and we get encuentres. All right, next one, we come. The verb for to come is venir. The yo form is irregular, and it's vengo. Drop the O, and let's see, we've got an IR verb that we're working with here, and it's the nosotros form, so we know that our new ending is amos, and we get, vengamos. All right, two more, tú and put. Our verb for put is poner. The yo form is pongo. Drop the O, we get pong. And we are working with an ER verb here in the to form, and so our ending is going to be as. Pongas. All right, you all want. The verb for want is querer. The yo form is quiero. Drop the O. And then we have ustedes for you all, and we're working with an ER verb. So our ending is going to be AN, and we get quieran. So that is how we form verbs in the subjunctive. We go to the yo form in the present tense, we drop that O and add the opposite ending. Again, you may want to review some of the irregular yo forms as there's a bit of a handful of them, and then make sure you look at our opposite endings chart, and I think that you will do great on applying this to the Kia practice. So why don't you give this a try and see how you do? Let me know if you have any questions.